Okay, welcome all. On behalf of the City of Garden Ridge, Happy New Year to everyone out there. Hope we all have a safe, happy, and healthy 2022 as we celebrate the 50th year of Garden Ridge, 1972 to 2022. How awesome is that? Call to order. We have everybody tonight except Lisa Swint. She's home with COVID, so she is quarantining right now. She's doing just fine. She and her family are just fine. So with that, I'll ask you to stand if you could. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Please take your seats. All right, we'll open item number 4, city employee recognitions, employee introductions. Nancy, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Mayor. The library received a thank you note from the Burchards. They stated, "Thank you for feeding and growing our love for reading." Another thank you note was received by Hunt and Megan, and it was to Wendy Bippert. "Thank you so much for helping us learn. You give us such a happy place to come every week, and we are thankful for you and everyone at the Garden Ridge Library." Another thank you note was received. This one was for Public Works Service Representatives Ryan Ferguson and Stanley George. It was from Mr. Armstrong, and he wanted to extend his gratitude for their help with a possum and some raccoons that he had caught, or he had trapped in one of the city's traps. And we have one employee celebrating an anniversary in January, and that is Jack Droughty, 1 year. Thank you, Jack, for your hard work. That's all I have, Mayor.
I will add that it is Jack's birthday today as well. So he's not here tonight. Good on him, but happy birthday, Jack. Okay, we have one more item for item number 4. So So everybody can hear me out in YouTube land. Sir, welcome. Thanks for being here tonight. Barbara, great to see you. So this is the flag that we flew over Paul Davis Park on the 4th of July in 2021 at our 4th of July celebration. And we celebrated General Elia's 100th birthday that day. So this is a long time coming, sir. Thanks for being there on the 4th. Thanks for being here today. Happy New Year. Happy 100th birthday. And hopefully wish you a happy 101st birthday come the 4th of July this year as well. So, Dick, if you want to give this to the General, please. The flag box was made by Dick Holloway.
On behalf of the city and the Garden Ridge Lions, I'd like you to have this as a token of our appreciation for all you've done with the city and the Lions. Well, thank you, Dick. You're very welcome.
So, that was handmade, the box by Dick Holloway. So solid walnut, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Outstanding.
He's an expert when it comes to woodwork.
He is. Expert with a lot of things. Sir, do you have any words for us?
Yes, I do. I want to thank the commissioners for honoring me for this flag and for presenting it to me on the 4th of July. A little late, but always better.
Yes,
We
sir.
had an intervention by Cibolo bars that's still with us, and I hope we get rid of it pretty soon. I'd like to say a few things. When I came here, Paul Davis was mayor, and Paul man, everybody came, new ones coming in, he was right at the front door. And he had a little book, people coming in, so he put your name in your order. And I remember I was 181st person on this book of new members, and my wife was 182nd. And that was a long time ago, and I've enjoyed every day living in Garden Ridge. Every place I went around here in the area, looking for a place to buy property. Every mayor would say, go to Garden Ridge, go to Garden Ridge. And finally I said, man, they must know something, I better go look. And I came out here and I was surprised what I found. And I'm happy I made that trip and met George Wishman at the block over where we are now. And I said, I'll buy that right now. Then the colonel in the Air Force was next to me, and he was going to retire here, but he got a job in Washington. So he came and put the sign up. Virginia Whistler at that time was in real estate. And I saw that sign flying. I thought, well, what should I do? Then about that time, an Air Force colonel came by. He and his wife going to Ohio. He was coming down on TDY, but he was going to be stationed here. He looked at that a lot. And I thought, well, maybe he wants to buy it. And when he left, he went to Ohio and came back and brought his wife. That was his first stop. We became friends. And we were very good friends because as soon as he left, I went over and told Virginia Wishman, take that sign down, I'll buy it. I had bird dogs at the time, and they had 4 sons. Now I didn't want 4 boys around my 4 bird dogs. And after I bought it, I'm pleased to have it. Again, I've seen the city grow, not just from a little village, but a nice city. Inhabitants come from everywhere, and we have good people living in Garden Ridge, people who contribute to the growth of this city. We're proud to live here and want to help the city grow. And I'm one of those. Garden Ridge means a lot to me. As I was retired and came here and thought I found a home. I was going to go back to East Texas, my Marshall, my hometown. I said, no, that's not for me. I'm going to stay in San Antonio because I had a lot of friends in Fort Sam Houston, Dempsey, Willard Hall. So I decided to retire here. And that was never a bad mistake. I made a few in my life, but that was a good one.
That was a
I'm
good
happy
6
for
to
it.
you.
And again, I want to thank the commission for the award of the flag. It's a great honor to me. And I will put this someplace in my library. I got to figure out how to put it. I've got the American flag, Texas flag. I have to figure out how to get this one underneath. But it'll work out. And I'm honored to
So
be
the
on
honor's
this
all
flag.
ours.
And I appreciate y'all's honor.
Yes, sir.
And thank you very much. And it's great to be alive at this day and time, to see the city grow, and I hope we continue to grow, and we get a lot more good citizens. Thank you very much, and thank you for the flag, and may all of us have a happy new year.
Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year. Sir, Dick, anything to add?
No, Chuck said it all.
He's only 110. I say,
Senator, Dr. Eagley didn't just live in Garden Ridge, he was our Planning and Zoning Commission chairman for several years.
12 years.
12. He worked here beside Lee. Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Bob.
Want me to take the flag?
Again, I want to thank Dick Holloway for the
Yes, sir.
hard work he put in.
You
there.
got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Dick.
Thanks, Mayor. Good
Yes,
job.
sir.
Doing
Yes, sir.
good, good. Thank you. After you.
So I didn't know that Paul Davis, our first mayor, had a book that listed everybody as they came into town, and that General and Mrs. Elia were 181 and 182. Is that what he said? What would I be? 10,000 something? Okay. How awesome was that? Happy New Year. Okay, that closes out number 4. And item number 5 is citizen comment period. Did we have anybody that signed up? Nobody signed up? Okay. That closes out number 5. We'll go on to item number 6, the consent agenda. These items may be acted upon in a single motion. No separate discussion or action on these items will be held unless requested by a council member. Public comment on these items may be heard during citizens' participation. However, that does not mean the item would be considered outside the consent agenda. So I think we have a council member that wants to pull an item from the consent agenda. Jesse?
Yes, sir. I want to pull item C, ordinance 54, from the consent agenda.
Okay, we will pull item number C, ordinance 54 from the consent agenda. Does any other council member have anything they want to pull? Okay, so with that, let's act upon items A, B, and D. Can I get a motion to approve items A, B, and D from the consent agenda?
I move to approve items A, B, and D from the consent agenda.
We have a motion to approve. Do I have a
Second.
second? I have a second. Any further discussion? Call it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries for item A, B, and D from the consent agenda. And Jesse, the floor is yours to discuss item number C.
Yes, I asked to pull ordinance 54 with respect to updating the water rates from the consent agenda in the interest of transparency. The city council meeting packet that was posted last week had a discrepancy in the base rates for 1 inch, inch and a half, and 2-inch meters. These base rates did not match the numbers that were in the Water Commission presentation, option C. The base rates have been corrected, as you see on the screen now. These are the correct numbers. And the packet has been updated, so the packet on Civic Clerk has the new numbers on there, and they're correct now. So I just wanted to be sure everybody knew that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jesse. Thanks for catching that. Outstanding work. Any further discussion on that? Can I get a motion to approve item number C from the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve item number C from the consent agenda.
We have a motion to approve item C. Do I have a second?
I second it.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Call it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item number C from the consent agenda passes again. Jesse, great work on that. That closes out item number 6. Item number 7 is staff reports. And we go right to 7A, City Administrator Monthly Activity Report. Nancy, the floor is yours.
Okay. We received the $620,000 from the SIB loan that we had applied for the relocation of water utility conflicts on 2252. That money was received on December the 10th. I want to let everyone know that their dumpsters will be available all the remaining weekends in January, as a reminder. And then I have an announcement to make. It saddens me to make this announcement, but our finance HR director, Karen Ford, has submitted her letter of retirement effective April the 1st. We are hopefully going to have the position posted Monday at the latest on TML, and we'll be awaiting applicants, and hopefully we will find a suitable person for the position. And I do want to say publicly, thank you very much, Karen, for all your hard work that you've done both in finance as well as the HR department here in the city. It's been meticulous, it's been appreciated, and it's been great work. Thank you so much.
Thanks, council. All right, Karen, go ahead.
It was,
So-
I did hear
Go ahead.
April 1st, right? That's April Fool?
Yeah, I was hoping that was the case, but congratulations on this decision. I know it's not taken lightly. I look forward to hearing what your plans are in the future and where you're going to go. Hopefully you stay here. And your shoes will be extremely hard to fill in both positions. So, and your work has been exemplary and outstanding. So thanks for everything, Karen. Nancy, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. I have one more thing to add for monthly activity stuff. We are going to cancel Friday's First Friday for 2 reasons. One, in an abundance of caution for the spiking COVID numbers at the moment. And 2, my mother-in-law passed this afternoon in North Carolina, so I don't know what my family's schedule is going to be over the next week or the next couple days. So I don't want to miss another one. So we'll cancel this First Friday. I'm sorry about that. It's the right call. But we will pick it up again in February with a Valentine's themed First Friday celebration. So thanks. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Item 7B, Karen.
The only thing I have to add to my reports that were in the consent agenda is the audit is completed, and so council can look forward to the auditor being here next council meeting to review it with you guys. And that's all I have this month.
Anything for Karen? No?
Yes.
Go.
I think a job requirement needs to be someone who is so patient with receipts.
I will put that in the job notice.
And I still need to schedule training with you on the budgeting process and all that other stuff. Try to understand what you do.
Better be quick.
Yeah, we all need to do that. Jeez. Thank you, Karen. Moving on to item number 7C, City Secretary Monthly Activity Report. Marissa.
So a couple things that are on my report that I just want to highlight is, as you all know, City has a general election on the first Saturday in May of each year. For the May 7th, 2022 general election, the filing period begins Wednesday, January 19th, and ends Friday, February 18th. Places 1, 4, and 5 will be on this year's ballot, and candidate packets will be available on the city's website or at City Hall beginning Tuesday, January 18th, so the day before the first day of filing. Just like previous years, we must order the election by ordinance, so you'll see that in February consent agenda. And any additional election information, if anyone is interested, can be found on the city's website. We have an election page. Another thing I wanted to highlight is under communication efforts, you'll see the Garden Ridge Emergency Alert System. This may sound new, but it's something we've been talking about for a while. We've just been calling it Civic Ready, because that is what the software is called, but we've now officially named it the Garden Ridge Emergency Alert System. This will enhance the city's ability to communicate with residents during an emergency by sending direct notifications to their phone. It'll be used to send alerts for inclement weather, road closures, garbage delays, so many different things we can do with this system. Admin staff has training scheduled for this month, and we should be ready to launch the system in February. So all we will need from residents is just for everyone to be on the lookout for the sign-up portal, and everyone will be able to then customize how they want to receive alerts, what kind of alerts you want to receive. If you want text alerts, do you want email alerts, do you want phone calls? It has a lot of different options, so stay tuned. That's coming, and we're excited for it.
Thanks.
That's all that I have.
Thanks, Marissa. This is part of that effort that we started back in June with our communication process with emergency events, whether it's a Stormageddon in the wintertime in February, or a hurricane, or who knows what goes on. So, but this communication system that we've worked so hard on is only as good as the input that you give as residents to what you want to receive and how you want to receive it. So we're ready to communicate with everybody But you have to look out for it and sign up for it with how you want to be, how you want us to get a hold of you, to tell you what we know, what we don't know, and how you communicate with us as well, en masse, right, Marissa?
Correct. So
Okay.
everyone will automatically be signed up with the information that we have on their utility account for emergency alerts only. Any of the other subcategories that we've created, like general notifications or anything about garbage or police department notifications, they have to actually sign up themselves.
Okay, thank you, great work. Anything else? Outstanding. Chief, you're up, 7D, Police Department.
Thank you, sir. Most everything I have is in my monthly report. I wanted to add a little bit. We did put on a job fair back in December. We had about a dozen agencies from all over the state show up. We had from Port Aransas, we had Parks and Wildlife, we had DOJ out here recruiting. So based on my last research, just on the TML side alone, there was over 1,600 open positions that people are looking for just in the state of Texas. It's pretty slim. Out of that, though, we're starting 3 backgrounds on some potential employees. So we're moving forward with that to get in line with starting to fill these open positions. The only other thing I have is a reminder. We put it on our Facebook. Monday will be the changeover on FM 2252 at the Cibolo Creek Bridge. So they will be closing down the old bridge, and the traffic will then be diverted onto the new bridge that they're opening up, and that happens Monday. So they are expecting a few traffic glitches in that area. Just going to need to be patient. That's all I have, sir.
Thanks, Chief. Anybody have anything for Chief Everhart? Yeah, we'll all have to be patient with Evans Road and the bridge for the foreseeable future, I think. All right, item number 7E, Public Works Department Monthly Activity Report. Stephen, you're on.
Good evening. In December, the Public Works Department finished up setting up for the tree lighting event and had 3 employees work it. We've rented a 250-gallon diesel tank as a reserve for the city generator. We also rented a 1,000-gallon gas tank for the reserves for the vehicles and equipment in case we need it for any weather emergencies. We continue to winterize city-owned buildings and parks. As of today, we have 4 dogs and 9 cats, and that concludes the Public Works report.
Anybody have anything for Stephen for Public Works? 4 dogs.
No pictures?
No pictures? Yep.
2 today. Yes.
Okay. You can continue, thank you.
For the utilities portion, December we pumped 59.08 acre feet out of the Edwards Aquifer, which gives us a total of, for the year, of 426.51 acre feet for 2021, and a remaining acre feet of 189.65 goes back to the Edwards Aquifer. Water loss went up a little in December to 5.6%, which brings our yearly average to 7.2%, still well below the national average. And that concludes my utility department report.
Thank you, Stephen. Anybody have anything else for Stephen?
Yes.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Okay, I know we ended up with 189 acre feet of Edwards still available. I know you were being very, cautious this year because we did go over last year. So do you have a plan on how you're going to manage it this coming year, or is it something you're working on? Or?
Yeah, we're going to start early. We're going to start probably pumping 5 to 10 acre feet each month up into June, July, and then we're going to start kind of watching the weather to see if we're going to be looking at any drought conditions versus a wet. But yeah, we're going to start trying to predict what's going to happen earlier on versus last year.
Okay, good to hear that. How about, you mentioned the precautions you've done for, winterizing pipes and getting things ready for, on the public works site. How about on the water commissions, on the water well site? Have you done anything to, kind of take care of some of the issues that came up this past February?
Yes, we with our transducers that usually monitor our pressure, that gives us how much is in the tanks. Those were a delicate portion of what happened for a lot of agencies and whatnot. So we basically insulated the transducer boxes, and we added plug-ins for that. They used to have a heater in those, but they weren't made for that type of winter. So we upfitted it with heat lamps and another plug for like heat tape in it. We're also going to be wrapping up our valves and our lube lines at the well plants a little bit better than they were, and they should be pretty tight.
Good. Also, looking at the numbers for that we have started adding e-bill customers and AMI customer portals, those numbers have gone up. Glad to see that. I'd like to encourage, all customers to really sign up for these. These are great services to have, so just kind of encouraging the public to take advantage of that, what we have there. Thank you.
Thank you.
John?
Yeah, I got one question. We used a whole lot less than what we were allocated, or at least we have to date. 189 available for, December? Are we, is there any possibility that we could get penalized if we start historically using much less than we're allocated?
Not that I know of. Do you know?
No, we will not be penalized.
So okay, that amount that we have is set in stone, basically.
Yes, that is the amount that is allocated to the city of Garden Ridge. We pay management fees
Okay,
on that, but we will not be penalized for not pumping all of our allocation. We're penalized if we overpump our allocation.
Anyone else?
If I
Go ahead,
may,
Kay.
didn't they used to tell us if you had a habit of, that they did take it back? Am I remembering that incorrectly? I thought there was some penalty years ago.
Not that I recall.
Okay, I mean, I heard you.
Not that
I
I'm
just-
familiar with.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Todd? Sure, okay. Okay, thanks, Stephen. On to item number 7F, Library Monthly Activity Report. Linda, the floor is yours. And ma'am, may I say happy birthday to you?
Thank you so much, Mayor. December, of course, was a slower month for us with being closed part of the time, the after-school things being on hiatus, and just people traveling. So the numbers are a little bit down. However, we plan to get back up to par in January, COVID permitting, and we're expecting a wonderful 2022. This Friday, I'm going to speak at Tracy Blackwell's Power Hour at 8:45 on the history of Garden Ridge. So if you don't have anything to do that morning, I'm sure you want to know about it. Now, I don't wish to infringe upon the importance of Garden Ridge's 50th anniversary, but I would like to point out that the library is turning 25 this year. It's our 25th anniversary, so it's kind of a silver and gold year, if y'all don't mind sharing a little. To celebrate the anniversary, we're going to put up a big board in the library, something like love notes, where people can write what the library has meant to them, how it has helped our community be a better community. And everyone's invited to write something. You can email it in, and it can be anonymous or not. But you can always come in, too. We love that. I'd like to say that this year, every year with the city of Garden Ridge and the special people that make it up, is the best year yet. So cheers to many more wonderful memories in 2022.
Thank you, Miss Linda. Anybody else have anything for Linda?
Yeah,
John.
what was the date of that you'll be speaking at Blackwell's?
It's this Friday, the 7th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, outstanding. That takes us to item number 8, City Engineer, Project Status and Reports. Sam, welcome. Happy New Year. Floor is yours, sir.
Good evening, Happy New Year. My report is going to be, it's pretty much the same as you have on your in your packet. There's two items that I want to provide an update to. The first one is for the 2252 TxDOT project, the water line. TxDOT has notified us that they have designed the intersection, so we know what we need to do to make adjustments for the water infrastructure. The only thing, they haven't designed the drainage systems yet. They're still working on that aspect of it, but once I get the information, I'll be able to complete the design of that intersection. Going to the wastewater project, just want to let you know that we're about to close that project out pretty soon. We have the as-bills. There's red lines that the contractor had made to the as-bills. We're getting that put into CAD. Once we do that, we should be ready to close that project out. And that's pretty much all I have to speak on tonight.
Thank you, Sam. Great work with all of that. Anybody else have anything for our city engineers? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That closes out item number 8. On to item number 9, City Commission and Committee reports, recommendations, and possible actions. 9A is Planning and Zoning. Ms. Karen, Happy New Year. And the first thing on the agenda for Planning and Zoning is receive recommendation regarding master development plan for WMMT Ventures Phase 1 project located on a 14.0836 acre tract on the south side of FM 2252 at the intersection of Arrowwood Place in Garden Ridge, Texas. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, Mayor and Council, and Happy New Year. I will not repeat what you just said as the first action item, but at the December 14th meeting of Planning and Zoning, we did have a presentation by Sean Willis and Shane Clark regarding Phase 1 of the development for WMMT Ventures. Phase 1, and I don't know if you have a picture that you can put up there. Phase 1 will include a single 20,000 square foot office building for Interlink Mortgage. There it is, with associated drive, utilities, and parking. This building will be situated toward the back of the property, as you can see on the picture. The property will be platted into a single lot in Phase 1 and replatted in Phase 2 as necessary for future development. Phase 1 will access Door Lane to the west of the site. A shared access and utility easement will stretch from Door Lane down the middle of the site to the proposed 20,000 square foot office building. Water and sewer for the entire development runs down this easement corridor, and water will turn north to connect to the existing main running along 2252. After many questions and discussion, Planning and Zoning voted unanimously to recommend to City Council approval of the WMMT Ventures Master Development Plan Phase 1. Now, should any of you have any questions, I do know that we have some representatives in the audience that can speak to your questions. Sean Willis, is that Shane? No. Okay, I didn't think that was Shane. But Sean Willis, and actually Wes Cleckley is here tonight. So if you have any questions, I open the floor to them.
Council, open it up to you all for questions. No? Okay. As a reminder, what we're looking to do here is approve Phase 1. And what that does is it starts the platting process and the special use process. So with Phase 1, we would see this will come to us again, or to you as the governing body, 2 more times for approval for preliminary and then final.
Yes.
So this just sets the plan in motion for Mr. Cleckley. So is there any discussion at all? What I will need in a motion to approve is that we say in the motion that Phase 1 Master Development Plan approval is under the existing planning and zoning ordinance, not the proposed draft. So if there's no further discussion, can I get a motion to approve with what we have talked about?
I'll make a motion to approve P&Z's recommendation regarding the master development plan for WMMT Ventures Phase 1 project under the existing ordinance 13.
We have a motion to approve. Can I get a second?
Second.
We have a second. Is there any further discussion? If there's no further discussion, I'll call it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay, congratulations. And Karen, the floor is still yours for updates on
Yes,
planning and zoning.
just an item of information. We received a commentary in December on our draft ordinance from Bryce Cox, who you all know is a professional city planner with the law firm of Denton, Navarro, Rocha, Bernal, and Zach. Is that right? Mr. Cox gave us additional information regarding development in the Natural Features Overlay District and architectural design standards. Based on the information presented, the Planning and Zoning Technical Committee met on December 21st to review Bryce Cox's suggested input. The revisions to the draft ordinance will be presented and discussed with P&Z at the January 11th meeting. So we are hoping to push ahead. If asked, when will this be brought to council, I would say March. Therefore, if we get it to you in February, we're ahead of the game. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you, Karen. Anybody have anything for Karen? Great job. Thanks so much. Okay, on to item number B. And the Quarry Commission did not meet in December, so there's no update at this time. C, for the Water Commission, they did not meet in December, so there's no update at this time. Same with item number D, the Wildlife Commission did not meet in December, so there's no update at this time. Moves us on to item number E, Parks Committee. Rod Chamberlain is not here tonight, but he sent his report for Nancy to read to us. Nancy, the floor is yours.
Thank you. The highlights from Mr. Chamberlain's report that he was going to be giving to the Parks Committee, to the City Council, is that the Parks Committee did not meet in December. However, their next general meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, January the 12th. The rewrite of Ordinance 24 remains unchanged because the committee is still under evaluation of the ordinance. There were a total number of 261 volunteer hours from the Parks Committee volunteers. 213 of those were from the membership of the Parks Committee, and 48 hours were from outside volunteers. The Parks Committee managed 47 volunteers in 2021, and collectively, the volunteers logged a total of 2,282 volunteer hours. And he would like to give a special thanks to this group of men, women, and young adults for their volunteerism. Their primary focus over the last 30 days, of course, was the 7th annual Christmas tree lighting celebration. They focused on setup, hosting the event, and tear down of the decorations in the event. There were approximately an estimated 300 to 400 people in attendance at the tree lighting event. The candy was all handed out with the assistance of some very nice elves. The hot chocolate was a hit, although it was a little bit warmer than usual for the event. This week, the committee plans to wrap up their collection efforts for the St. Jude's Ranch for Children through the donations received from the 2021 Christmas ornament, and he will provide a final tally report on those proceeds at next month's meeting. He would like to say a special thank you to the sponsors, Audi North Park and Korea Realty, contributors, Raising Cane's and Nothing Bundt Cakes, entertainment, Garden Ridge Elementary School 4th and 5th grade choir, and Bracken United Methodist Church, as well as the fire department for delivery of Santa. The food trucks, there were 3 this year, who all say they had, that business was good and they've indicated they want to come back next year. And the generous support that was provided by staff within City Hall, Library, the Community Center Manager, Public Works and the Water Department, the Police and Fire Department, Lions Club, Women's Club, GRCPAAA, and the guest of honor, Santa Claus. Over the next 60 days, they will be working on the spring cleanup at Paul Davis Park that's scheduled for Saturday, February 5th from 8 to noon, which will be followed by lunch and refreshments for the volunteers. And they will be ramping up for the July 4th celebration in 2022. If anyone has any questions or suggestions concerning the parks or desires to give a helping hand to the committee, they can contact the Parks Committee at their email, gardenridgeparks@gmail.com. He also sends a special thank you to Mayor and City Council for your time and continued support.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Rod. I know you're watching out there on YouTube, so thank you for everything that the Parks Committee did in organizing the 7th annual Christmas tree lighting event. It was amazing. I think that there were more than 300 to 400 people there. If you ask Linda Potts, she says we had 250 bags of candy, and each one of those kids that got a bag of candy had 2 parents, or at least 1 parent there with them. So Linda said 500 to 600, so that's what I'm going with. So 550 sounds good to me. We have a member of the Parks Committee right here up on the dais. Okay, thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you to the Parks Committee, and thank you to the city staff and employees and the entire community that put that amazing event on. And it's, I can't imagine how much work it is. So you guys turned the community center into a winter wonderland, and that was amazing. And I know that you guys worked about 10 hours a day that entire week to make that happen, and then to tear it all down. So thank you so much on behalf of the city. Outstanding. Anything else that Rod had to say? Okay. Thanks, Nancy. On to F, Volunteer Garden Ridge.
Be me again. Okay. There were a total of 415.5 volunteer hours during the month of December. 110.5 of those hours was library volunteers. Parks Committee, 261 total between committee members and then the non-committee members. Bill stuffing was 8 hours, and the families of Garden Ridge contributed 36 hours. So there was a lot of volunteerism that occurred during the month of December.
It is the month of giving, right? All right, thank you so much. On to item number 10, approvals and authorizations. The following items are for discussion, consideration, and action. Item 10A, reschedule the July City Council regular meeting. So, Council, this is something that the staff brought to me in December, and I think it's a great idea based on everything that we have going on in the month of July, as you can see on your screen or behind us, with our 50th celebration, the 4th of July celebration, our parties and whatnot. That would be hard for the city to go right into those events and then right into a city council meeting after that. So what we propose to do, which would require a motion and your consideration, is to observe a holiday for Tuesday, July 5th, to get everybody a break in the city, and then we'll push the meeting back to 1 week, which would be July 13th. So any discussion on that? It's good for us too, right? Anybody have anything to add? Okay.
No, I just think your idea, because it's so very hard on staff. I mean, they'll be working that weekend, that Monday, that Tuesday, or maybe not Tuesday, but I just think it's a gracious thing to do for the staff. I mean, for all public works, water, internal staff, and so on.
I agree. No, it's wonderful for the city, and thank you for catching that and looking forward that far to be able to look down the road and go, hey, that's going to be a really, really hard weekend and a hard week for us. So thank you. Anybody else have anything to add? Well, with that, I'd like to request a motion to approve pushing back to observe the holiday on July 5th and pushing back our council meeting to the July 13th.
I move to observe July 5th, 2022 as a city holiday, as well as reschedule the July City Council meeting until Wednesday, July 13th, 2022. Same time, same place.
Outstanding. We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Call it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Nice job, city staff. On to item number 10B, update on preparations for possible disasters and emergencies. So like we talked about with Civic Ready a little bit earlier in the meeting, this is all part of the master plan to ensure that the city, the staff, our employees, the departments, everybody is ready for the next crisis, the next emergency. That could be another winter snowstorm with power outages. It could be a hurricane. It could be a flood, a tornado, God forbid, or even an active shooter event. So all of this goes hand in hand with our emergency planning and our crisis management as a city. And we've been working on this for, well, since June, since we put it into motion, since after the election. So, Jesse, your question earlier to Stephen about water was a great question, because we're going to talk about it right now, all the great things that they have done. We had a meeting in December with the department heads talking about everything that we have done through the departments to prepare for the next disaster and or crisis event, to make sure that we're ready to communicate with our residents, to communicate as departments and city with the PD, to make sure that we have power in the case of a power outage, and to make sure we have a clean-cut chain of command. So you've got everything listed in your packets. It's on the screen in front of you. I have a couple of highlights. From admin, we came up with a clear emergency and crisis management chain of command in case for some reason that our city administrator, Nancy Kane, is not available at the moment. That does not include the mayor and council. That's strictly running the city. And you already heard Marissa talk about Civic Ready, and that's ready to go live after we get our final training in February, right? Okay, so that's outstanding. For our police department, they're built around emergency response and emergency management. But in addition to that, a couple of highlights: the patrols carry cold and wet weather gear with them. They carry additional signage, stop signs, whatnot, to direct traffic in case Stephen is unavailable with Public Works. And obviously the chief and Lieutenant Dan will adjust patrol schedules to make sure we still have police coverage in the city with our emergency response. So to include making sure that our businesses are taken care of, and regarding the bank on Batcave Road even a little bit more, and our different businesses. So in addition to that, Chief Ron has worked many hours developing his electrical engineering self-taught degree on going through the wiring of City Hall in conjunction with our generator out back to make sure that in the case of a power outage, that the parts of City Hall that we need power to are ready to go. So Chief, thank you for what you and PD have done to make that happen and to highlight that. So in the event that we lose power, we have the generator out back that has enough fuel to operate at full capacity for about 48 hours. We have, without being refueled. So, and we have, per what we discussed in December, we're going to have an excess tank to be able to pump into the generator tank in case we can't get it refueled because someone can't get to us. So that's 48 hours. And what would be powered here is this room and the offices behind us. So they'd have power, heat, in the summertime, power, air conditioning. In the wintertime, this could be a warming area, sleeping area. Bring your cot, your sleeping bag, put your family here. In the summertime, we can cool off. We'll bring in water. We can do what we need to do. The front foyer will be operational with the restrooms. The front office, the administrator's office, the mayor's office will be up and running, as well as the PD will be up and running. Did I miss anything, Chief, on that? So that's huge. So, and that's the hard work of your city staff and employees enacting that and enabling that to happen. So once again, they come through. So thank you so much. So we are ready to go. We're ready for the next event, God forbid. So, Chief, thanks for all of that. For Public Works, Stephen has a huge list of things that they have worked on for the last 7 months, really. We've purchased radios to communicate with each other in the case that we lose cell phone coverage and all that stuff, with each other, city department heads, as well as the PD, so we can all talk to each other when we lose power and we don't have any other means to get a hold of each other. We bought generators for up at Public Works to make sure that Public Works is powered in the event of a long-term power outage so that we can have our SCADA data and for our water system readily available so we don't lose that. Stephen has come up with a primary and secondary well plan to make sure everything has power and it's operating as necessary. And then Jesse, per your question, they're ready to go with making sure that the next freeze doesn't have, that we are ready for it as best that we can be. So it's outstanding work on the part of the city, and I commend you all for it. So we're ready to go. We'll be able to communicate come the beginning of February, if not sooner than that. So thank you all for enacting that, enabling that, and making it happen for us. Council, any questions on all of that? All right.
No, thank you, good work.
Yeah,
Excellent.
they've done great work.
Mayor, can I add one thing?
Yes, ma'am?
So I'm sure y'all have heard that we've contracted with DFW Strategic Communications to facilitate developing a crisis communications plan. They have been working on that, and we should be getting a plan in the coming weeks. Once we have that plan, it'll come to City Council for action, we're hoping, in February. And once that plan has been approved, we will actually be scheduling some tabletop exercises for both city staff and City Council to actually implement that plan in different scenarios. So just a heads up that that's coming.
Marissa, thank you so much for adding that. That was huge. So, yeah, with DFW and what they're doing for us, in addition to our branding and logo, they're helping us with all of this stuff with crisis communication. So it will be important for us to make ourselves available when we do those tabletop exercises to see what our role is going to be in the next crisis communication plan. And we're working with city administrator, city secretary, and our city attorney to make sure that we can communicate with each other without violating the Texas Open Meetings Act in an emergency response situation. So see what we can do. Thank you so much, Marissa. Anybody else have anything to add on that? Okay.
Actually, you bring up a point perhaps Cynthia could answer. Is there an exception for open meetings if there is an emergency?
So we're working on that.
Okay.
Right?
And yes, there is. There is some exemptions for true emergency situations.
Okay. I know you touched on it, I just.
Yeah. We want to be able to communicate with each other and not break any rules, not break the law. So, great question. Thank you. Anything else? Okay. That closes out item number 10B. And on to item number 11, updates, city council projects, City of Garden Raid's 50th anniversary. Kay, go ahead. We had our last meeting in December, so go ahead.
Excuse me. I may need some supplemental support on these report, Kat. But first of all, I will encourage everyone, if you've not had a chance, go to our city website and look up the 5 levels of sponsorship. And if, for those of you who are wondering why the names that we came across, this is a flashback to the 70s. So hence the names. Nifty, a nifty sponsor. I won't go into what you get for it, but a nifty sponsor is a mere $500. A groovy sponsor, a little bit better, donate 1,000 or more. Far out, 2,500. Out of sight, 5,000. And for those of you who have that kind of pocket, dynamite, 15,000 and more. There is no limit. So you might get 2 dynamites. But again, go to the city website to determine what you get for your money. You get a valuable asset no matter what you donate. For those of you who might still have their bell bottoms, if inspired, you could wear your bell bottoms. Those of you who weren't born by then, you might have to go to the resale shop. We have spoken with a couple of food trucks, one of which was in attendance at our tree lighting. He's been on site twice, and he's at this point still available. There may be a conflict with a family vacation, darn it, but incredible guy, and I'm hoping he can come back. And the good news is, I don't know if the chief knows this yet, it's definition of good. Oh, he just raised his eyes. We have committed to La Gloria Margarita truck. Just saying, just saying. It's a commitment. I will give everybody their address and their phone number. Yes. So those are commitments. I know we continue to talk about having an ongoing month-long celebration we have a meeting actually next week, next Tuesday, to continue our plans for like possibly a scavenger hunt, maybe an art contest for the kids, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a month-long event. And Kat or the mayor, if you have anything I didn't bring my notes, to be honest.
Okay, you've covered it all. We are making a calendar to document, if you want to touch on that.
Kat, would you like to take that?
So we did not have enough time to get a calendar out for 2022, but instead we are going to release a calendar in 2023 that will reflect back on our 50th year as a city. Especially for the month of July, we'll highlight a lot of the events that we did to celebrate our anniversary. And we can throw in something for the library to celebrate your birthday.
Love it.
All right, do you want to talk about sponsorship? Any action on that?
Yes, so we actually already have a Dynamite sponsor as of yesterday, and as of today, we have a Groovy sponsor as well. So we are very excited, and we hope that more local businesses and other individuals would like to sponsor our 50th anniversary, because we have big ideas.
So our plan here is to have, obviously, our big celebration with the 4th of July at Paul Davis Park that morning, and then we're going to have a huge celebration that evening. That's what all these sponsorships are going to go for. So And as the week, it's going to be here before we know it. As the weeks and months go by, we will be able to talk more about what our plan is for that late afternoon and into the evening. So, right?
Yes, hopefully we'll have maybe some finite details after our meeting next week in time for the February council meeting.
Yep. Outstanding. Thank you, Kay. Anybody else have anything else for that? No? Okay. Jesse, item number 2, bulk dumpsters and brush along FM 3009.
Okay. Yes, I first brought this item up at the August meeting, and I said I had come back with photos to share. So they're on the screen here. And Chief, before I start, I'll preface it that I pulled off the side of the road in the grass, stopped completely to take these pictures, okay? So they were all safely taken, okay? Anyway, so I combined a bunch of pictures here on, this were between Schoenthal and Meadow Root. There's 5 different spots I found, somewhere in the median, somewhere on the side of the road. The next slide has, so this is actually in front of a George Ranch. So the top picture is a panoramic, and the bottom has the blow up to the side. Now this one I actually saw when the brush was still there originally. We had just left the house to go to lunch with my daughter and family, and by the time we came back to take the pictures, the big items were gone, but this was left behind. So there was evidence that there was evidence that didn't get it all picked up, but it did get picked up. And then the major one I actually found back in September. This was a big brush that was there, probably a 2 to 3 inch diameter, branch. As I came across, I was coming from George Ranch, coming around the corner there, Schoenthal, and all of a sudden saw it. And this was right in the middle of the road. I did get off, and I pulled it off the side of the road when it was safe to get it off because it was really blocking traffic there. But anyway, see here, so a lot of stuff around, and I don't know what we can do, but I'm asking for ideas. But I wanted to share this with you, and if anybody gets any pictures in the future, please send them to me. We can collect them more and come up with more data points. But I'm looking for, I'm asking our residents to really, just verbally tell you to cover up your truckloads or trailers, secure them down, everything you can to minimize how much really gets dumped in the road there for either, mainly keep our streets clean, but also for safety reasons, because these do create hazards there for, major vehicles. So back to you, Mayor, for comments or questions.
Well, thank you, Jesse, for bringing this to our attention. I've received a few phone calls in the last few months regarding this exact thing along 3009. So if we can just emphasize that, hey, if you're a resident of Garden Ridge and it's dumpster weekend, please use use our facilities and use that service that we provide, but please cover it up in the back so we don't cause hazards on the roads.
Yeah, I know Comel Recycling Center, they actually require you to cover it up before you bring it there. I don't want to get to that point. I like to have, people just voluntarily do it, but, we may have to do it at some point. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you. All right, sir, the floor is still yours.
Okay. So I asked this topic on commissioner responsibilities and expectations, really referencing ordinance 210. We have 4 commissions that are created to assist in governance of the city of Garden Ridge, and I want to thank every commissioner, for their willingness to dedicate their time to serve the city. Your volunteer time is greatly appreciated, and we couldn't do it without y'all. We have several commissioners that, are new, that really don't know, understand responsibility, expectations, so I just want to cover a few things. Each commission has different procedures and operations and expectations. Each commissioner should know what the ordinance or their commission, for their commission and they're responsible for, and ask questions for clarity at all time. We, the city council, rely on the 4 commissions to do the detailed investigation on any request that comes before them, whether it's a variance, rezoning, water leak adjustment, et cetera. Commissioners need to do their due diligence, study the request versus the ordinance, have the open discussion, challenge each other. Don't be afraid to disagree, but be respectful to each other. commissioners need to be the subject matter experts on this, on their topics. And, it's the commission's job to make the tough decisions and make sound recommendations to council so that we can just, process it here quickly and process it. But the commission need to do the thorough investigation. I've served on Water and Planning Commission. I've served on the Water Commission as chairman for a year and a half. So I got experience, Councilman Byers as well on planning and zoning. So we have experience on here, what that's required. So, understanding the commissions must operate under the Open Meetings Act, and all discussion must be made, in an open meeting, does not mean that you have limited time to discuss anything. You have options available, to study the material, and if you need more time, table discussion. If the meeting's running long, you can always ask for continuance at a later date. There's other options, but never feel pressure to rush a decision. I've heard some other times they feel pressure to rush decisions and come up with things. So anyway, those are my 2 cents. Back to you, Mayor. Maybe council, I'd like to see any other comments from council or anything.
Thank you, Jesse. Council, anything else?
Thank you for reiterating that, Jesse. We need to do that, I think, periodically.
Thank you very much. Okay, that concludes item number 11, updates. Item number 12, discussion of future agenda items. Council, anything you want to see on the agenda in the future?
We
No?
will maintain the 50th on there.
Yes, that stays. Okay, nothing? All right, item number 13, citizen comment period. You don't need to have signed up for this. If you wish to come up and address the council, please come up for a 1-2 minute period. Remember, we can't comment on what you're saying. Any takers? Nope, okay. Item number 13 is closed out. Item number 14, reports and comments from mayor and city council members. Let's see, Families of Garden Ridge, I don't have a date for the next FM 2252 pickup yet, but expect that in February sometime. I'll brief it at February's council meeting. Northeast Partnership, I've got my mayor's workshop tomorrow evening in Marion, hosted by the city of Marion up there. And then our luncheon for Northeast Partnership is next Thursday, right, at Olympia Hills Golf Course. So I encourage anybody that's available to come to that. And then we also have our Comal County luncheon for on Monday, if anybody's available to go do that. So anybody else have anything to add on this other stuff that's listed?
Yes, I would encourage anyone who can to go to some of these events at the elementary school, middle school, and the high school. They have plays, they have sporting events. There are all kinds of things going on. It would be really great if we would give them a lot of patronage. That's all.
Thank you, John. Yeah, you're right, Todd. They are fun, right? Davenport High School, the Wolves Athletic Booster Club Booster Bash is Saturday, the 22nd of January at what's it called? Blue Bonnet Palace. So, and tickets are available to go to that. Anybody else have anything else? No?
Boy Scout Troop 828 has a new Eagle Scout since our last meeting, Joey Zerniak. I'm going to work on getting the new Eagle Scouts up here in front of us. I'll be discussing it at the next Scout meeting. We also have a new Scoutmaster.
Is that you?
Yes.
Take it. Well, congratulations.
I think.
Outstanding. Thanks for volunteering
Anyway,
to do
I'm
that.
gonna work on getting the new Eagle Scouts. We'll maybe once a quarter or something. We'll bring them in here.
Absolutely.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for volunteering to do that. Anybody else have anything for item number 14? Okay, that closes that out. Item number 15, executive session. We don't have any information that's updated from our last meeting in December to present to you tonight with anything that is listed. So we will be we won't be conducting executive session tonight. There's nothing to add further, and we have a council member that's not here tonight. So we will have it in February. So with that, item number 15, executive session is closed, which also closes out business items from after we reconvene from executive session. So that moves us on to item number 17, adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion to adjourn. I have a second. Any further discussion? I doubt it.
Shock and awe.
Sets a new record, I think. Call it to a vote. We actually got some stuff done here. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this meeting is adjourned at 7:10 PM on Wednesday, the 5th of January. Happy New Year. Thanks. Great job.